okay, if one of my idol likes the music I'm producing when I'm trying to be like at least 10% as good as he is, then that means that it's okay, I can start sending my tracks.
I have the pleasure of sitting with Lola Cerise, German style, French style. I'm not sure. No, she's a French DJ and producer, and we're here in Amsterdam in a little coffee shop. So you'll definitely get some ambiance around. But yeah, I just want to start off by talking about some of the projects that you have going on this week. I know this is a super exciting week for you. I know that you signed an EP with Artcore, which is how this even led to this conversation to begin with, Indira Paganotto's label. So tell us a little bit about the project there, how you were able to start working with Artcore and what you have going on this week for ADE.
Well, Artcore has been just very lucky. It's been just Indira who looks at her DM on SoundCloud, and I just sent her all my music someday, and she was like, "Girl, I know what you're doing." You know how Indira is, like, she's just so straightforward, and she was like, "Okay, I love everything you sent me. I'm gonna sign you on Artcore." And it took some time, but now I'm part of the family, which I'm really grateful for, obviously. And so this week we're doing Awakening together with Artcore, and then a lot of different meeting. I'm meeting Zone from Ellen Alliance as well, doing some teaser with Maru, going to see my girlfriends, going to play at Intercell with, who is it as well? Different different parties everywhere.
That's exciting. Actually, the person that I spoke with before you mentioned Intercell on Sunday as well. So this seems to be like the party to go so far. Let's see what everybody else says today. So tell us a little bit about your music background, because I think I read that you come from a musical background with your parents. So how did that influence you to be able to do what you're doing today?
Well, actually, it's funny because it was more of a reverse psychology, Like, everybody's doing music in my family, but it's more like classical music. And I was like, fuck you, I'm different. I don't want to do that. So I just went super far away, even though, like, obviously music is in my blood, I guess. And that's kind of how it led me here, because I just wanted to do something so different. And I started doing electronic music, which was for my family, obviously not even real music, because you have to learn instruments, you have to learn like the classical way. And I just experimented that way. And I think if I would have followed the right way, I would be like a pianist probably today.
Do you know any instruments? Did you play them growing up?
I learned piano for a little bit. Yeah. Like, now I kind of forgot, but it still helps me. Like, when I produce on Ableton and stuff like that, I have my MIDI and stuff. So it kind of helps me out. But I'm forcing myself as well to not learn the classical way anymore, because I feel it would just put some, like some rules around what can be with no rules at all. So if I relearn, for example, the solfege, if you say solfege in English, I'm not sure. Like the classical, solfege? I don't know. I'm so confused suddenly. Well, you know what I mean? But then if you learn that again, it just puts all your ideas in boxes, When if I force myself not to learn it anymore, I had to unlearn it, I guess. Like, then you just get yourself super free, and electronical music just allows you to create and discover new ways and new melodies, like some stuff that you would never do with the classical instrument.
What are some of your early influences, whether it was in electronic music or not? What were you listening to that eventually led you to what you're doing now?
Well, it's a funny one, actually, because I'm from the countryside where there were no clubbing, like nothing like that, just very, very far from everything. And our electronic culture, music culture, was from the illegal raves. So like Spiral Tribes, Heretic, so I started raving when I was 15, something like that, in the woods with like all the punks, And I was very much into tribecore. And it was more like vinyl style, so it's like slower styles, but like super deep, super psychedelic. And I think you can still hear it in the music I'm producing today. Like, it can be super dark and like super, like, going into your brain, like just... So these are very much my influence, and still today in my sets, whatever kind of music I'm gonna play for my set, because I like to play a lot of different things, at some point I will always kind of bring this old school sound, like a bit crispy, like you know, like the old school sound, like a bit like
A little grit, a little grit.
a little grit.
When you say that you were listening to this and of course somehow influenced you with your productions, what was that moment when you gained the confidence to be able to send your tracks out to the labels? And I don't know if it was just Artcore or other labels, because I read something also on your Instagram, I think a couple years ago, where you said you didn't even feel comfortable sending out the music at one point, and then months later you got signed an EP. So what was it that made you gain that confidence?
Well, honestly, it's hard to say because it took me so long. So like I was living in Australia, I was telling you, and I decided to move back to France to really focus on production because I felt my level was not good enough. And I just sat there in my studio every day, working, like producing, because I was like, okay, I need to be like as good as the other ones. And it took me so long. And when I did it for the first time, I sent like maybe 5 tracks, you know, that my friends would tell me, oh, this is really good, you need to send it. And I was like, well, no, this is shit. And my friends were like, okay, this is nice. So I just sent it to I think I started with like 6 French artists that I really liked back then. And that was it. And then I met one of the 6 guys in club in Berlin, like a couple of months after. And he recognized me. And he was like, man, that's crazy. I'm seeing you here. Like, you sent me this track. It's so cool. I wanted to sign it on my label and stuff. And that was the kick on like, okay, if one of my idol likes the music I'm producing when I'm trying to be like at least 10% as good as he is, then that means that it's okay. I can start sending my tracks, and it's okay to have some people not liking it. So I started like, also it gave me the confidence to produce faster, because there's the thing when you produce that it's hard to finish your tracks. Yeah. So I started finishing my tracks a lot more. And then like, I think 6 months later, I sent my tracks to Indira, and then she was like,
I love the energy. I love the energy. I love yours. And it reminds me, like, I can see how you guys all kind of fit together so far. Yeah. It makes sense so far. I see it. And I haven't been to an Artcore party or anything yet. I've seen Indira play, but I haven't gone to an Artcore party. So that's super exciting that you guys are going to be doing that this week. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the parties that you're going to be playing this week. Which ones are you doing? And what kind of sets can we expect? And what music are we expecting from you this week at AD?
So this week I'm only playing at the Artcore Awakening show on Saturday. And so I'll be playing with Maru, which is going to be very interesting because we play very different music. Like, we're really far. So it's going to be, I think, a mix between Techno, bouncy trance, a mix of our 2 worlds in something a bit slower, because also like Awakening Artcore is going to be very groovy and stuff. So I don't know. I'm actually meeting her this afternoon to talk deeper about it, but I think it's going to be really interesting. A bit like slower than what I usually do, and a bit darker, I guess. Like something very, like a tunnel, I guess. Like a big tunnel of Techno.
And I know that you play at Gotec. I don't know if there are other clubs that you want to maybe talk about that are like big highlight moments for you, and the difference with playing a club like that, let's say, which I think is a goal for a lot of DJs and producers to be able to play a club like this in Germany, and then also playing that versus playing a festival like Awakenings this weekend. Is it your first Awakenings that you're playing, or?
Yes, actually. I've done podcasts for them, but I've never played like a proper festival. So that's super exciting. And I can't really say now before, but it's true that Gotec. So funny thing is that Gotec and Artcore came to me like at the same time, 2 months different. And Gotec, they arrived. That was my goal club, you know, like it's just in the hard techno scene. It's like Gotec, and it's like those clubs, they have reputation for a reason, you know. And what I found is that those energies, it's mostly in Germany that you can find it, and it's not because I'm a resident there, but Gotec is one of the best clubs I've ever played at. And every time I go play there, it just blows my mind away because the energy is just so crazy. They just make everything for people to be happy. So like the crowd is super excited and happy because everything is nicely made for them. The sound system is incredible. We're happy because the artist care is amazing. And the place is also like, has some like a lot of soul into it. So like those are like the perfect combo that you can't find super often in clubs. I have Hans Bunter Ariel, which is another club in Germany. I don't know if I pronounce it well. Or RSO as well, that I found the same energy, but it's super rare, and that's what makes it unique, of course. But yeah, Gotec is like a big love story. They're like my family. I was, getting kicked out from my old agency because I was too small, and the biggest club of Germany comes to me and they're like, because they're my agency, Gotec as well. They have an agency. So like they just DM me literally on Instagram saying like, do you have an agency? First message ever. And they're like, the owner is like, I see something in you. Like, I don't care you're not famous. I don't care you haven't signed big labels yet, because Artcore was after. And they just came, they saw something inside of me. They gave me all the confidence I needed. And they just pushed me. And honestly, like, thanks to them and thanks to Artcore, like, suddenly, like, you give the right confidence to an artist, and you can just, I feel like I bloomed in 1 year, because they just washed away my lack of confidence with the, like, my tracks are not good enough and anything. And they just washed it away, saying like, we see you, we like you, we like this with you, we like this with you, we like this with you, and you're gonna make it, So I'm like incredibly grateful to have those people around me, because that's like a big part of any career. It's like having a strong team behind you that understand you and that see you for what you are, and not try to make you what they want you to be. You know what I mean? That's like, I think that's rare, and that's like a fucking incredible, like.
No, that's an amazing story. I actually didn't know that about you as well, because a lot of people, of course, dream to be able to have opportunity like this, right? But there's also a lot of work that goes behind that. So whether you're a newcomer into the scene, I know some people, maybe they're DJing or producing their first year, 3 years in, and especially with social media popping off so much, which I'm not sure if that attributed to their discovery of you. I don't know if it was social media or them hearing your productions.
With social media, actually, social media. And the fact that I met another resident from the club.
Okay. Yeah, so sure. Because I wanted to know if you have any strategy behind that, then maybe you could give some tips for social media, because of discovery. Of course, everybody is trying to figure out I don't even know if algorithm exists anymore. I feel like it's like, just put stuff out, like, what's the way? I don't know. But if you could say maybe like 1 or 2 key things that you find in strategy with social media.
Yeah, so I have to say I'm very lucky, because with my management team, they have something installed for this. So I have like a girl, she doesn't do my post, but she helps me to build my post, like tell me which order would be better for my pictures, my videos and stuff. And from what she's doing, I can advise to just make things short. Like, that's the thing, like people want to see something that they're not used to see in real life. So just think about whenever you're going on tour, like doing gigs and stuff, like seeing you playing those videos, you see them all the time, and you have videos of people playing incredible stage. So like, of course, when you're putting like a video of yourself playing in front of 200 people and it's in the dark, like for you, it's a big one, of course. And like, it is a big one. But it's not going to attract a lot of people, because they see so much bigger, and it's not very stimulating for the eyes. But if you think about taking pictures backstage, like backstage is a lifestyle that not a lot of people have access to, and that's what make people dream as well. So instead of putting yourself playing all the time, take pictures of everything that's happening, like funny things, crazy things that happens in backstage that make your life super rock and roll, or whatever it is that your personality is. And just put 2 or 3 videos of you playing in the middle, because this is more attractive. And I guess like people want to see a personality nowadays more than your skills as a DJ. It's like you need to be more than just a DJ and a producer with the social media. It's like the competition got 1 step higher. You need to be a good DJ, you need to be a good producer, and you need to be a fucking legend personality-wise, like, people want to dream, like that's what I learned from all of this. Like my post when I'm playing, people are like, well, yeah, she's playing every weekend, whatever, but like if I put like a post with like other DJs doing something crazy and stuff, then my post explodes.
So okay, that's a good example. You say if you're backstage with other DJs, what if somebody's too shy to ask for a picture or something? Like if you were to say, like a moment that would catch your attention where you'd be like, oh, this is a good moment for social media. Let me take this picture or video really quick backstage. Like, what would you think, like right off the top of your mind?
It's hard to say because honestly it becomes kind of a reflex, and if you see, like, it's sad to say, but like professional backstage, everybody's with their phone all the time and like film everything because it becomes a habit. But if you're like more of a shy person, then maybe you can just go like to more aesthetic side. So like, for example, there is a beautiful light with like a sign or something, and you just take a picture of yourself but in an aesthetic way, so that it still attracts people's eyes, like just find a way that connects with your personality, because if you force it, it's gonna feel forced. It needs to be like you taking the habit of filming kind of most of the things you're doing while you're touring, like not when you're eating, no one cares. But also something that feels natural, something that you would do anyway. You know what I mean? Like, don't force yourself to like drink shots because it's gonna look cool on the social media. But like, I don't. It's hard for me to have an example in my mind because it's like something that comes with the flow, usually. And like, oops, sorry. Sometimes gigs are not so fun, and even me that has the habit of like taking pictures of everything, I'm like, well, this one is a bit boring, so like I'm not gonna take pictures of nothing, like it's with the flow.
And what about a video? Like if you were to give advice, like if you're DJing, let's say, what kind of video would you think is the best to post? Like, is it a transition? Is it a drop? Is it just the reaction of a crowd? Like, what do you think works the best?
So 2 things I would say is the videos that starts with your face, because that's for the algorithm, like they see the skin and stuff, like your face in the light. Like if you're from the back, it's not gonna be like recognized by Instagram itself. I mean, I think so. I don't have proof for it, but that's from what I saw. And also something where a video where you're doing something. So for example, like cut short before the drops. Now I'm talking from my style of music. I guess like for groove and stuff, it wouldn't work the same. But instead of putting like the 30-second drop, like break before the drop, just put like maybe 3 seconds, and like just the moment where you're gonna do something. Like for me, for example, I laugh all the time in life and during my set. But like, for example, like videos that would be like 1 minute, we're gonna cut it like 25 seconds, and it's gonna be the moment I'm gonna be like, ha ha ha, let's go back. And it goes straight away. And so like, for the eyes of people watching Instagram all the time where it goes so fast, then it's like, oh, something is happening. And you stay there. And the most important as well is that the first and second picture or video in any carousel post are the ones that matter. Like then you can put whatever, but like the first one and the second one are the one that Instagram presents to people when they like scrolling. So just think that these two have to be like very fast and like punchy and stuff, and then after it's okay, you can put whatever.
Sure. No, thank you so much for that advice, because I think a lot of people know that they have to have a social media presence, but really struggle to find the way. And especially if you're more introverted, which a lot of artists are, it's hard to find those moments and say, okay, let me take a picture or a selfie. It's very awkward sometimes, So just to finish off the interview, what can we expect from you for the next year? Because this year is already ending. So what can we expect from you in 2026?
So we're building a big project with my management team. So basically, as I was saying, I like a lot of different genres in music, and I wanted to do like a big album where I make a track with a different artist for each track, which I did, and we decided to split it in 4 EPs. So I'm gonna release 4 EPs next year. I can tell you maybe what is on my management team. The other one I can't say yet, but it's gonna be 4 EPs. One is gonna be more psytrance, one is gonna be more trance, one is gonna be more art techno, one is gonna be more groove. And yeah, it's gonna be very exciting because it's gonna be all the phases of my musical journey. Production is gonna be with all my best friends, some famous artists, some small artists, but like only people that I think are very talented and like worth to have a look for. Yeah. And yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful project. Basically, it should be like every 3 months.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed chatting with you, and I'm sure that they're going to enjoy watching this as well.
Ooh, my leg is asleep. My leg is asleep.